Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. In this video I'll be doing some Sunbright Whirlwind against Scotland 6. And we have board E. Shuffling together those events. And let's get started. I believe it's the lowest number mountain and the highest sands. I always forget. Alright. And the starting explorer is Jungle. That's probably the worst explorer for us. Because it means I'm going to have to do... So usually when I play Sunbright into this matchup, I like to utilize this special rule where it says a stiff wind at their backs. After you add presence during growth, I may push stuff. Well, unfortunately with this Explorer, I really can't stop either of these builds, which makes things very awkward for us. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to go with bottom track and we're going to go with G2 for the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my idea is I'm going to be playing Windsped Steps as well as Scatter the Winds. And that's going to allow me to use Scatter the Winds fast such that I can push stuff out of this jungle land. I'm going to put this presence over here in the mountains such that I can pair up my Dahan on the sands here. I'm going to be using Windsped Steps on myself. And we're going to be using Scatter the Winds fast so I can now push my stuff from E7. We're going to push the town over here to E5, and then we're going to push this explorer into my E1. Actually, let's push the town into E5. Okay, let's see what we get. Skipping the first event, jungle build, and the explorer's wetlands. Well, that's a pretty good one. At least we were able to cut off this explorer here. And we're really hoping for a defend or some way to handle this land. Now we do have our innate where we get to push up to 1 explorer, so we're going to push this explorer into E5. Actually, we'll toss it into E6 there. Let's see what we get. Time passes. I'm now going to G3, getting a minor, and we were looking for a defend. Oh my gosh, we got it. This is the on-element defend. Yeah, that's a very good card. Mesmerize Tranquility is another great one, but I mean, it's just definitely called a guard here. Sucking Ooze, Sear Anger, I mean, they're not bad cards, but on element defend, it's everything we want here. So now that actually allows me to fully defend this land here, which means we get to take an off turn here. So I'm going to go with a single card play here, and we're going to go top track. I want to start getting in that flux of energy every turn. And we're going to put this presence, and we're going to put it in the jungle here, pushing the explorer out into the mountain. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. 1, I want to put my presence in the land with Dahan. 2, I want to be able to make sure that my defend 2 is enough to defend this land. And we're going to use Call to Guard, and we're going to defend 2 on the jungle. And we are good to go here. I'm going to not play my other 2 cards because I want to save it for next turn for possibly a big turn. See what that event is. We passed up Grim Toll. Urban Development does nothing. We have Fierce Mean, 2 fear. And added disease from Lingering Plagues. We're going to put this disease, we'll put it over here on the jungle here. Because we're going to Scotland 6 into the jungle, and I want to be able to stop a future city build. Jungle Ravage. And we got to Scotland 6. Wetland build, we've skipped that. And the Explorer is Mountain with an escalation. And just reviewing what that is, it says on the single board with the most buildings, that's us, add a town to the N lands with the fewest towns, where N is the number of players. So N is going to be 1. We're going to put that town over here on E2. And then we're going to explore mountains. I already explored here, and we'll explore a town here. I'm basically piling up all my problems into my E2. I'm okay with this land blighting. I'm just going to take the blight into the ocean because of Scotland 5. And time passes. So I really need to get an answer to deal with this E7. And now I'm kind of regretting not playing Gift of Sunlit Air. Because I partially want, part of me, if I could speak correctly, I want to be able to play Scatter the Winds and Gift of Windsped Steps to be able to get this town out so I can stop the Scotland 6s here and here. But I don't think I really can do that. I think they're going to occur anyways. So let's go with another, a G3. We're going to go with a minor here. Oh, there it is. Wow, we're just... This is somewhat of a bad matchup, and I'm not making it like that based on my drafts, though. We're going to put my presence over here in the mountain on E5, pulling the Explorer into my E2. Now, we drafted some amazing cards here. Hazards is a fast token that has 0 cost with an error. We have Enticing Splendor, which is a 0 cost perfect element gather. We also have Call to Trade, and Call to Trade is a way to beat Scotland, as well as Habsburg, Sweden, any of the matchups, and it also has that air. And then we have Elemental Boon. If I had to pick, it's definitely Call to Trade here. One of our biggest weaknesses is we don't have defensive tools, and this is exactly what we need. It's awesome that we hit 4 air cards. If we didn't have Call to Trade, I definitely grab Enticing Splendor so that I can kind of pull this town out. But Call to Trade is definitely the pick here, because now I can, not only can I pull this town out into E7, but then I'll also have a way to skip my E2 in the future. And we're going to put these 3 cards down. And we're going to grab Call to Trade. We're going to choose the Sands here. Doing that there. And I actually think I'll still take my Blight here on E2. And we're going to use Sunlit Air, giving us +1 range. And then we're going to use, I think we're just going to use Tempest, doing damage like this to all those buildings. Hopefully we get like fatalities or something. And yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. It is going to be somewhat awkward here because I need to use Call to Trade on my E2 to stop the build, or to stop the Ravage next turn, but I don't have Dahan there. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to shuttle Dahan there, or I'm just going to just take the Blight. And I think taking the Blight is probably the best option. Wow, Grim Toll. I was like, man, we're going to play Tempest here so that we could play for that Grim Toll, and we are getting it. Now, unfortunately, we have Invaders Surge inland, so I have to move this town to either here or here, this mountain, and that's going to cause Scotland 6ing. But I think instead what we'll do is we'll put this town over here to E7, and then we'll use the disease that we placed last turn from Lingering Plagues there to Grim Toll. And Grim Toll, it says choose a land with disease, 2 damage there, so we're actually just going to kill this town here. Now, I could have killed like a city or 2 towns, but I want to be able to stop Scotland 6s from happening, and that's the only way to really do that successfully. Dahan Defend, sure. Fear card, skip the lowest explore, sure. Wetland Ravage, we Scotland 6, skip. Mountain Build, and the Explorer skipping the lowest is Wetlands, and we actually skip, well, actually we do not skip both because we have to escalate, so we escalate first into our E3, and then we explore, but we skip our lowest because of the event. And we're going to have our innate 1 fear, and we can push 2 things. We're going to push, yeah, this is insane for us. We're going to push this town over here into E2 because it looks like we're just going to let this land build up. There we go. Time passes. And we're going to G1 reclaim here. And I mean, our cards are so good. We probably should go with the major here because we have the 7 energy. Yeah, I think we do Call to Guard, Call to Trade, and then we do Sunlit Air. We do these 3. So we hit the innate. We have Call to Guard to gather Dahan. And then we Call to Trade that land. And then I think we go with the major here, just so we could start digging for an answer for the mountain. I could go with another minor. Minors are also very strong here. I don't want to forget any of these cards. Tempest is nice. But we do need a... Now let's get a major. Major can help us find an answer for the mountain. And look at that. Paralyzing Fright. We also got Rumbling Earthquake. Yeah. This is... if we didn't pick up Call to Trade, well, we have Paralyzing Fright, so that would be our answer here. Part of me just wants to play Paralyzing Fright instead of Call to Trade, because now I can threshold it, get the 8 fear. Yep, it's definitely paralyzing. And this is a good example of something that I've mentioned. I actually think we forget Call to Trade. I got really excited about this card, but I don't think we're going to need it now that we have Paralyzing Fright. And Tempest is on element. I think we forget Call to Trade, which is crazy. I was very hyped about it last turn, but Paralyzing Fright is just better here. And we don't get to threshold it though, because I'm not missing, or I'm missing the 3rd Earth. Is a skip here, or do we just take Rumbling Earthquake? which is nuts. Let's take a look. I could do Rumbling Earthquake, and I'm not going to Threshold, but it is like 6 damage there. It's 3 fear, 6 damage. It's very strong. And I can also AoE it. You know, I was saying how good Paralyzing Fright is, but I wonder if I actually do these 3 cards instead. Well, I guess they're going to build a 3rd city here. Because if I Rumbling Earthquake here, I'll be able to kill a ton of buildings. I have Call to Trade skipping it. Paralyzing Fright does a lot. Honestly, both can work. Because Paralyzing is 4 fear this turn. It's on element. But Rumbling, let's pick Rumbling because this is just such a meme, right? I'm playing the Sun Cat thing, and I'm playing like the crazy Earth card. So we'll do Call to Guard, gathering a Dahan into E2. Then we'll use Call to Trade. We're going to gather this town and gather the other Dahan. And now we're going to skip the Ravage here. Let's see what that event is. Coastal towns multiply. Dang. Add a town adjacent to a coastal town. Sure. We're going to add it over here to the sands. Beast Destroy. And then Coming of Age. I get to add a Dahan. Mountain Ravage, but I'm going to build instead because of Call to Trade. I have to Scotland 6 into my E5. And the Explorer is Sands Wetland. There's the Explorer, and also there's the Explorer. Yep, I'm actually pretty happy with Rumbling. It works out very nicely. So Rumbling, we get 3 fear, 1, 2, 3. We have 6 damage in our E2. We're going to kill 2 cities. And then we have 6 damage in adjacent lands, and that's enough to kill these 3 towns. And this is what I was hoping. I was hoping I'd be able to do this. I would have my innate in case this wetlands explored, and I can just push that guy out into the jungle here. And then I still have a city here, which sucks. Because that's going to cause a build on E1. But, yes, we'll still need to figure out a way to answer that. I think we're still fine. Because what we do here... Oh, I forgot to forget a card. I forget Tempest here. And the reason why I'm forgetting Tempest is because it costs 2 energy. And I think our win con is using Rumbling Earthquakes. I think we go bottom track here because now we hit our... Yep, we go bottom track because now we hit tier 3 of our innate. We're going to choose G2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 energy. And then next turn we have enough to run back Rumbling. Play. We're going to put this presence down. We're going to put it over here in the sands, just so that I can get access to like the have 4 Dahan amongst your lands. Sunlit Air does nothing. Wow, I don't even think we do anything with Windsped Steps because we want to make this innate fast. So, actually, I don't even know. No, we probably should still play cards here. It's just such a weird turn. Get to 4 plays next turn. I wonder if do we not do anything? Just play no cards. Because we're so far ahead based on these drafts. Rumbling has to be played, not this turn, has to be played next turn. So no matter what, we have to reclaim. No, I think we still do this, and we can just... Because like, we have this innate, does really nothing. Kills a town. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how all this plays out. Eager Explorers, Beast Chase, and At Their Gates. With 2 fear for At Their Gates. 3 fear cards. Flee the Pestilent Lands, does nothing. Remove and explore from a land matching Ravage, does nothing. And do not explore in lands with 2 Dahan. Oh, that does something. Wetland Ravage, Scotland 6, Sands Wetland Build. And then because of Eager Explorers, we have to add an Explorer. And then we have coasts, and we're ignoring lands with 2 Dahan. There goes the town right there. Okay. And this is where I think we do Scatter the Winds. We push this explorer into this jungle, and then we use our innate, one fear, push 3 things, and then we could do 3 damage in this mountain, and we're going to kill that city there. And then I've planned it nicely such that I can call to guard my E1. And then I also have a rumbling earthquake this turn. So we reclaim. We're going to go with the miner here. Just looking for a good 0 cost card. Really, these are not very good. Finally, our luck is running out. Renewing Boon, just pretty terrible. Territorial Strife is, I mean, it's nice. It's 0 cost. Poison Dew, we're not thinking about this. We're playing in Scotland. Destroy Explorers won't have much effect. I could see maybe an argument for Dry Wood. I mean, it's 2 fear, it's on element, costs an energy. We'll go with Dry Wood just because it's 2 fear and we lack fear. Though Territorial Strife could also be the card too. And like I said, I wanted to play Rumbling this turn. I wanted to play Call to Guard. And I get one more card play this turn. If I do Sunlit Air, I get tier 2 of my innates. That's probably what we do. And Call to Guard, defend 2. Sunlit Air this turn, and then we have Rumbling going off again. Events, let's see what we get. Or touches, that's a redraw. What is this? Investigations of danger. On each board, add an explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. We're going to add it to our E6. And then we have Beast Destroy. Goodbye, Beast. Ooh, that's exciting. We got a Rouse the Spirits, so we may use a slow power now, but that is not enough to kill all of these buildings, so we will not do it. Fear card, add a Strife to a land with presence. Sure, we'll add it to the mountain. Sands Wetland build, or not build, Sands Wetland Ravage. Scotland 6, Coastal build. And the Explorer is Sands with an escalation. We'll escalate on our E1, and then we'll explore on E1. And then we're going to use this innate, 1 fear, and then we're going to push some stuff. And we'll push town, explorer, and town. And then we're going to use Rumbling Earthquake, 1, 2, 3. 6 damage in the target land. We'll pick this land, killing the 3 towns. And then 6 damage in adjacent lands. We're going to kill these towns here. And we're just going to G1 reclaim. And we're going to get a major. And we're going to grab Trees and Stones. These are all very, very good cards. You could pretty much get away with any of these. Unleash is amazing too on us. We're going to forget Rumbling. I think, yeah, I'm just seeing if we can, if I call to trade, actually, yeah, no, it's definitely Trees and Stones because I can win the game this turn with that, I believe. Yes. And we play Trees and Stones, call to trade, and call to guard. We're going to use call to trade on this mountain, pulling this town back in, pulling a Dahan, call to guard, pulling a Dahan, and Trees and Stones, doing 1 damage per Dahan, so that's 5 damage, killing the last few buildings, and that's GG. This was this is a very, very good game. I mean, we got very lucky. We got call to guard, which is amazing. Like I said, call to trade was great too. But at the same time, we also, like, if you saw the majors we picked up this game, we had just insane, like lots of great drafts. I mean, our first set of drafts were these 4, right? And I used Rumbling very well this game, but like Paralyzing Fright is nuts on this too. On element, skip. And then the second draft here, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can pick any one of these cards and be very, very strong here. I mean, Vitality, basically making a land just immortal. I mean, the defend damage is amazing. Unleash is almost an instant threshold. I mean, it is now that we have Scatter and also we picked up Drywood. I mean, we're missing the Sun, but it's very close to a threshold. Storm Swath is like a threshold with Scatter is an instant threshold. So I mean, these are some amazing major picks. Let's see some of the other minors we passed up. Yeah, we passed up Enticing Splendor, Elemental Boon, Mez. Yeah, we just had some good hits, and I think Whirlwind does pretty well in this matchup. It is a bit tricky, but it's definitely interesting for sure. So if you like this video, like, subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys in the next video.